Welcome to our live training session number 41, part 2. In this video, we're going to take a look at the calibration process to get our fuel dialed in for idle, cruising, and wide open throttle conditions off of our wastegate actuator spring level. We're going to cover looking at the injector programming information as well as our MAF compensation so we can understand the process and the order of operations to get things dialed in so that you can do it on your vehicle. Without further wait, let's jump into this live training session so we can get started. Welcome back to our live training session here with our Mitsubishi Evo 8. In the last video, we used our Ecu Flash software to help us create our base calibration file to begin our tuning process here with our mass airflow based Tephra V7 ROM. So we went all the details, all of the specifics of the vehicle, we programmed that, now we're ready to upload it. Now before we do that, we want to do a read on the original file out of the ECU. Now this vehicle has been tuned before, but I still want to read the original file out just in case they have the immobilizer code in there, and if I want to put the immobilizer feature back into this Tephra V7 ROM so it's going to be functioning and working, it'll just be just kind of a way that we have something there as a backup in case something happens with the file rating or the file we've created. If it gets corrupted for some reason, we'll have a way that we can get the car to run again. So we always want to save the original file. I cannot stress that enough. What I'll do here is I have my vehicle keyed on. I have my Tephra cable plugged into my laptop, plugged into the car. So I have it into my OBD2 port and then the accessory connector plugged into that accessory port right next to the OBD2 port. At the bottom here, we can find that it's going to be recognizing I have my open port cable plugged into my laptop, so it knows where that is and it's recognized it. And I'm ready to do a read or a write here with the ECU. So what I want to do is a read. I want to read the original file out, save it, and then we can overwrite the file that we have here again from our last video. So that should be pretty straightforward. So what we'll do is go here to our read from ECU's flash memory. We can see this first icon here, it's in blue. Click read, I'll click OK here, and it's going to start to read the file. So this is going to take probably a minute or two to do the read process. So again, we'll read it, we'll save it. We don't necessarily need to go in and take any information out of it, but it's going to be there for reference sake in case we want to reference something that was maybe different between our file and the file that was in the ECU already. This is probably going to be more likely the situation that you're going to find yourself in because pretty much every Evo 8 or Evo 9 out there has probably been tuned at this point. There's going to be some kind of a tune on it. I rarely ever get one that's going to be a factory original file. If you do get the factory original file, definitely put that aside, save it, just as you'd find here with your original file. We'll call it original. It's just as important, factory file or the tune file, and we'll be able to utilize that again for the immobilizer code. Is more the reason why we want to save it, but just so we can go take a step backwards. It gives us a way that we can go backwards. So right now it's read that file. I'll click OK here, and we can find it's going to show here readfile.srf. That's what it read out of the ECU. Looking at the file here in our current ROM metadata, it looks like it is structured as a Tephra V7 ROM. So looking at this, someone whoever tuned this last, looks like they did use essentially what we're having in our training course, which is nice. Now it is mass airflow based. It does have the Omni 4-bar map sensor. I talked about that in the last video, and it has the mass airflow sensor as well. So it has the Omni 4-bar, the MAF sensor, and in this case, I would have to guess the way they tuned this, whoever tuned this, was using the MAF-based tune, and then they were going in and using probably the PSI direct boost control. It makes things much easier having that 4-bar in place. So we don't really need to do anything with this. We could go in here. I'm not going to do it right now, but we could if we wanted to keep the immobilizer feature. If we scroll down in here, we should have an immobilizer section. Coming down in here, we should find, I might have passed it already, we should find a specific area here where we have immobilizer. Here we go, and a miscellaneous. And the immobilizer, this is the immobilizer code for the car. So this 4-digit strand of letters and numbers, this will allow me to pop these values here. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.